Pro Football Weekly gives you the fantasy football matchups to exploit and avoid every week, and we start with the quarterback position. Arthur, we're buying into Carson Palmer at least for 1 week.
He's got an intriguing matchup against the San Diego defense that's allowing 227 yards passing and over 2.5 touchdowns each week. He showed some improvement last week. Yes, the interceptions are still a problem. He had 3 more of them against Denver, but he did have 332 passing yards and 3 touchdowns and had a little bit of nice touch and zip on that ball downfield. Looks like he could be headed in the right direction.
Especially after only a couple of weeks back, pretty good numbers he put up there. Ben Tate is also a good play this week. We know Arian Foster's there and he's going to get the carries, but Tate just keeps producing.
He's more than a handcuff to Arian Foster right now. He's got 4 100-yard rushing efforts on the season, but he has 2 of them since Foster's return. This is a guy who is a perfect balance with him and Foster. Foster's more the speed guy, going to make you miss. Tate's just going to run you over. He goes up against a defense in Tampa Bay this weekend. Just lost Gerald McCoy, their best run-stuffing defensive tackle. They've been gashed the past 2 weeks. Ben Tate could be a solid play.
The New York Jets passing game has gotten a little better from when it was awful a few weeks ago. We like Santonio Holmes this week against the Patriots.
Yeah, Holmes did have the touchdown last week. I think he's been a little disappointing overall for his fantasy owners this season, but he's too talented to be kept down for too long. As you said, he's got an intriguing matchup. The Patriots, as we know, aren't stopping anyone. You got to have Holmes in your lineup this week.
Yeah, on the guys on the flip side you want to avoid this week, Beanie Wells played last week. I think unusual for him. We've started to see him tough it out despite a knee injury, but we don't like him against the Eagles.
No, we don't. The Eagles, believe it or not, despite the abomination against Matt Forte, I know they forced a couple fumbles, but Forte ran wild. Prior to that, they'd actually gotten some things corrected the past couple weeks in terms of run defense. Beanie Wells, you said it, banged up knee, but at least he's been gritty, tough. He's showing that he'll fight through it, but it's going to be a problem all season. Keep him on your bench this week.
Probably going to stack the box there too with John Skelton likely starting again. Lance Moore against the Falcons, not a guy we want to go with.
No, Lance Moore's actually been hot, a couple touchdowns the past couple weeks, but the Falcons have figured some things out on defense. They've shown real nice improvement. You're going to be in a situation with Lance Moore and the Saints similar to the Packers. You never know who to start each week. Lance Moore may be a guy to keep on the bench this week.
And from that same game, we're saying stay away from Tony Gonzalez.
Unbelievable. Future Hall of Famer. He amazes us. He's the ageless Tony Gonzalez, but he's been a little bit inconsistent the past few weeks. Saints have actually been very good shutting down opposing tight ends. If you have another option, you may want to look at it other than Tony Gonzalez.
Especially with Julio Jones back. We saw him catch 2 touchdowns. He may be taking catches away from Tony Gonzalez. Those are the matchups to exploit and avoid this week. For the best fantasy information around, check us out at ProFootballWeekly.com.